Hello students, welcome to the EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Rashmi Sharma, Head of the Department OB and HR, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi. Today we will learn the module Knowledge Management Systems. This module is from the paper Contemporary Issues in HRM and Future Trends. The learning outcomes of this module would be an introduction to the knowledge management system. We would be understanding the concept of data, information and knowledge. What is the difference between understanding and wisdom? Some processes of knowledge management. Different strategies to be adopted while implementing a knowledge management system in the organization. How to facilitate the knowledge sharing process and the use of the right kind of technology in knowledge management. After completing this module, the students would be able to learn about the significance of knowledge management systems, study about the process and strategies of knowledge management system, and learn about the effect of technologies in a knowledge management system. Knowledge and information have always been an essential part of societal development throughout history. Innovation for the most part is influenced by the collected knowledge and information that has been gathered and collated by the past generations. Knowledge creation is a slow and an ongoing process of value addition to the society through innovation. The growth and development of any economy is dependent on the knowledge creation, knowledge transfer, and innovation. While the fact that knowledge is one of the key drivers of the economy has existed since the beginning of civilization, it has only recently been recognized as such. This recent recognition will lead to a revolution in knowledge management. As per the dictionary, knowledge is the condition of knowing something with familiarity gained through experience or association. According to Davenport and Prusak, knowledge is a fluid mix of framed experience, values, contextual information, and expert insights that provide a framework for evaluating and incorporating new experiences and information. It originates and is applied in the mind of the knowers. In organizations, it often becomes embedded not only in the documents or repositories, but also in the organizational routine, processes, practices, and norms. The process of identifying, organizing, and managing the knowledge resource is called knowledge management. The knowledge contained in documents does not automatically translate into a useful and a usable knowledge. It only converts to a usable knowledge when it is properly read, understood, and communicated. This means that outside the mind of people, knowledge exists only as information. Data is a collection of raw facts and figures. It is a set of values of either qualitative or quantitative variables. Unprocessed facts that are not arranged in any meaningful format are called data. There are two types of data: raw data that is collected in an uncontrolled environment. It is called the field data. And second type is data that is generated within the context of a scientific investigation by observation and recording. It is done in a controlled environment and thus is called an experimental data. Information is a data that has been processed and converted into a meaningful format. Data, once converted into information, can be used as a basis for rational decision making. Knowledge, according to dictionary, is an information and understanding about a subject which a person has in his or her mind or which is shared by all human beings. Knowledge has also been defined as uniquely human quality of making meaning from information This is as per Frank Miller. Knowledge can be of different kinds. The first type is an explicit knowledge. According to the dictionary, explicit knowledge is the articulated knowledge expressed and recorded as words, numbers, codes, mathematical or scientific formula or musical notations. The second type of knowledge is implicit knowledge. This knowledge refers to a knowledge that can be gained through the process of training and learning. The third type is a tacit knowledge. Tacit knowledge refers to the knowledge that we possess unconsciously and are not even aware of it most of the time. Skills and competencies that we pick up unconsciously due to socialization, which is the process of exchanging of tacit knowledge in between people, are a part of the tacit knowledge that we possess. It is generally transferred through face-to-face interactions. Understanding is also known as intelligence. It is the process of comprehension of a piece of knowledge through the use of one's cognitive and analytical abilities. Wisdom is the understanding of the fundamental principles of knowledge that make up the core of said knowledge. Let us understand some process of knowledge management. Externalization. According to Freudian psychology, externalization is an activity by which an individual projects his or her own internal or tacit knowledge onto the outside world, particularly onto other people. It is the process of conversion of tacit knowledge to explicit knowledge, for example, documents, reports, videos, etc. The conversion of explicit knowledge to more complex forms of explicit knowledge with the purpose of free flow of this knowledge is between people, and that is what combination is being referred to. The knowledge is first sorted and understood, and it is then disseminated after being decontextualized. The process of efficient utilization of one's explicit knowledge is called internalization. The explicit knowledge is processed, understood, internalized, and then put to the most efficient use. The lifelong process of inheriting and disseminating norms, customs, values, and ideologies are referred to the socialization process. It is the primary process for the dissemination of tacit knowledge from one person to another. Socialization can be of different types: primary socialization, secondary socialization, anticipatory socialization, re-socialization, and organizational socialization. Let us now understand some of the knowledge management strategies. Due to the ambiguity related to knowledge management, there have been several theories and strategies of knowledge management. Each theory proposes an ideal type of knowledge management system. According to Earle in 2001, knowledge management can be divided into the following schools. First is the system school. The system school focuses on developing and creating the knowledge basis for various processes and products through placing significance on the technology and mechanisms. It aims at codification of the tacit knowledge of the employees and dissemination of this knowledge amongst the employees. The cartographic school propagates the formation of knowledge mapping and creation of knowledge directories. The knowledge maps and directories act as a reference to the existing knowledge in the organization and helps in identifying any inadequacy in the knowledge system. The process school revolves around providing the best practice knowledge that will assist in the efficient working on the business process. It intends to enhance the core competencies of the organization by sharing knowledge through collective databases. The commercial school tries to amplify the revenues by proper and efficient exploitation of the intellectual capital of the organization. According to the organizational school, organizations must give emphasis to the organizational substructures like discussion groups and communities in order to facilitate the efficient and free flow of knowledge. This would lead to the increase in productivity. The spatial school propagates the formation of accessible channels of communication between employees to facilitate the free flow of knowledge. The channels will allow the members of an organization to connect and share knowledge. The strategic school focuses on using the product, process and customer knowledge of the organization. It creates synergies that will allow the company to increase its profitability. Knowledge sharing refers to the free flow of communication and sharing of all kinds of knowledge, be it explicit, implicit and tacit. Nowadays, vast amounts of data and information is freely shared through internet, databases and knowledge repositories. The effective sharing of knowledge involves the sorting, collating and transmission of knowledge on the side of the sender and the receiver. Understanding and initializing the knowledge on the side of the receiver is also important. In today's world, knowledge is power. That is, knowledge is a precious resource which leads to knowledge sharing being treated like a threat to an organization. This non-sharing of knowledge leads to knowledge hoarding and adversely affects the productivity and the efficiency of the organizations. There are several models and frameworks that were proposed to facilitate the knowledge sharing process. These models help us in understanding what are the different factors, causes and elements that impact the knowledge sharing process. Some of these models and frameworks that are discussed in this module are the Actors Framework, which was proposed by Lee and Al-Hawadimeh in 2002. This model views the exchange of knowledge as a process between two actors. This process could take place in a one-to-one format, one-to-many or many-to-one. In all these formats, there is always the presence of the channel. There are three possible channels: face-to-face, unmediated, usually used in a one-to-one as in the telephonic conversations. Face-to-face, technology mediated, usually used in one-to-many as in presentations, through document, books or videos, etc., usually used in many-to-one. The model for best practice transfer from Odell and Grayson was proposed in the year 1998. Their model consisted of three main components, that is value proposition, which includes the reasons and the objectives of knowledge management. A conducive environment. The model provides for a four-component enabling environment that promotes knowledge sharing. The four components are culture, measurement, infrastructure and technology. A four-step change process for the implementation initiative, that is planning, designing, implementing and scaling up. Inkpen and Deneur's knowledge transfer model was proposed in their paper in the year 1998. Their paper introduced the term knowledge spectrum as a core concept. According to Inkpen and Deneur, knowledge spectrum consists of the sum total of all the knowledge possessed by an organization. This knowledge spectrum is shaped and molded by 5 dimensions that contribute to the shape and size of the knowledge spectrum are culture, strategy, decision-making structure, environment, technology and operations. This model has identified 3 kinds of knowledge pockets that can be distributed in the organization. Knowledge pocket type 1 present within the knowledge spectrum but outside the knowledge state. Knowledge pocket type 2, it is placed in the knowledge state and can be converted into competencies as the knowledge is identified, assessed and understood. Knowledge pocket type 3 lies outside the knowledge spectrum of the organization and is incompatible with the organization's working. The transfer of knowledge leads to a specific knowledge package being removed from the present context and transferred to the new context. The Zhulanski's knowledge stickiness model was proposed after extended studies in the best practices transfers in 8 organizations in the year 1996. Zhulanski was able to identify 4 stages of transfer process. Initiation, that is, the events that lead to the decision of knowledge transfer. Knowledge transfer takes place when there is a knowledge gap that is adversely affecting the productivity. Implementation, it refers to the actual knowledge transfer taking place between the source and the receiver. Ramp up, application of the transferred knowledge by the receiver, and integration when the transferred knowledge is accepted on a norm in the receiving unit. The SECI model, also called the knowledge spiral model or the knowledge creation model, was proposed by Nonka and Takushi in 1995. This model is mainly related to the translation of tacit knowledge to explicit knowledge. They suggested 4 steps, that is externalization, which means transferring of tacit knowledge to explicit knowledge, combination explicit to explicit, internalization, internally, explicit to explicit, tacit to tacit, socialization, tacit to tacit. Let us now understand the role of technology in knowledge management. Technology is the cornerstone of knowledge management. The new advances in technology helps us to better understand and implement the knowledge management. The recent advances in the information and communication technology have allowed us to increase our ability to store and manipulate knowledge. The internet revolution has greatly increased the access of information and dissemination of knowledge. Now let us understand the different inputs and how information and communication technology supports knowledge management. In case of knowledge inputs, scanning the sources of information, organizing the information, user needs presentation, extracting the hidden and unavailable information. While knowledge processing, extracting and reviewing knowledge from the past, case history, etc., rapid combination is possible in many forms. Knowledge repositories refer to creating a single reference point, reducing the storage cost. Knowledge flows is routing the knowledge as per needs at the right time to the right people and also improving the workflow. Knowledge use or output refers to helping in the thinking process and support information decision. Knowledge management can be divided into various activities. New technology affects the various activities of knowledge management differently. Knowledge creation refers to the act of discovery and generation of new knowledge. Technology provides us with required tools for experimentation, recording, observation and analysis, which ultimately enables the creation of new knowledge, that is mind mapping tools, text mining, data mining, etc. Knowledge capture is the activity that allows the organizations to identify and capture new sources of knowledge. Technology facilitates in the quick and effective knowledge capture through tools like document, imaging, e-learning tools, etc. Knowledge sharing and transfer refers to new technologies that offer us a plethora of solutions for effective transfer and sharing of knowledge. As new technologies come out, this process is becoming more and more streamlined. The knowledge retention is an important part of knowledge management activities for the future on any organization. Technology facilitates the storage and organization of knowledge. There are various databases that can be used for the storage of information. For example, there are different types of repositories as given: document database, data warehouse, external database or internal database. The typical information processed and used in case of a document database can be all types of operating and maintenance manuals of the equipment, plant, machinery, designer drawing, customer feedback. This is typically used for improving the service to the customer. Data warehouse has financial information, marketing research, data, etc. A typical use may be for extending the locations of goods suppliers and providing more services. External database can be any kind of information about the competitors, business news, if relevant. Typical use of an external database lies in product development discussion. An internet can be a repository wherein the information sources for many business disciplines like research and development, product development, marketing, human resource planning can be a subset of it. Typical use is in research and development or market research. Leveraging knowledge is the effective use and utilization of captured knowledge. Technology allows us to make efficient and effective decisions through the use of tools like data analysis and reporting tools, decision support systems, etc. As shown in the illustration given in the slide, we may see a knowledge management enabling technologies, that is explicit knowledge, wherein the system tools may be database management system, data warehousing, expert system or web tools. Organizational tools may include indexing, classification, taxonomies, ontology, metadata. Management tools can be the document management or IP management. The know-how refers to the collaboration tools, that is emails, groupware, discussion forums, chat rooms, whiteboards, bulletin boards and simulation tools. The know-who can refer to the CRM tools, that is emails, social networking analysis and knowledge portal. The tacit knowledge can be mapped through video conferencing and face-to-face facilitation technologies. In this module, we have studied about knowledge management, that is the process of identifying, organizing and managing the knowledge resources, and that is called knowledge management. We understood the importance of knowledge management and how knowledge management is the cornerstone for innovation and progress. We studied about the differences between data, that is unprocessed facts that are not arranged in any meaningful formats, information, that is data that has been processed and converted into a meaningful format called information, knowledge, information, and understanding about that subject which a person has in his or her mind or which is shared by all the human beings, understanding and wisdom. We also saw the different types of knowledge, that is explicit knowledge, implicit knowledge and tacit knowledge. We studied the different types of knowledge management strategies like the system school, cartographic school, process school, commercial school, organizational school, spatial school, strategic school and knowledge sharing. We also read about the importance of knowledge transfer and about the various models of knowledge transfers such as the Actors Framework, models for best practice transfer from Odell and Grayson, Inkpens and Diner's knowledge transfer model, Zulansky's knowledge stickiness, SECI model, that is the knowledge spiral model or the knowledge creation model. We also tried to understand the importance of technology in knowledge management and how technology would help in the various activities of knowledge management like knowledge creation, knowledge capture, knowledge sharing and transfers, knowledge retention, and how to leverage knowledge. Thank you.